Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to my channel. Today I have two gothic and creepy skeleton DIYs for you. DIY number 1, left at the altar. Now I have here, this is actually a yard stake I got from Family Dollar, and I'm painting it with this Art Deco Primitive is the name of the color, chalk paint. I cannot find this anywhere. It's very similar to Waverly Sandstone, and that's a good look for to look like bone. And I give this 2 coats. Then once that's dry, I came back with my antique wax, and I'm gonna hit in all those little details and age it a little bit. I also sealed this in Mod Podge. After the chalk paint was dry, I went ahead and put a coat of Mod Podge on it. It's easier to manipulate the antique wax. You can just kind of put it on and get it down in the crevices, but then wipe off the excess and control how much aging you want. That's, you know, on the surface, not just on the inset details. And I just go around in all the little crevices and wipe off the excess. Turns out pretty cool. So my hand and arm is all done. Not too bad. And this little tray I got at Family Dollar. No, I'm sorry, Dollar General. It was a BOGO, buy one get one half off, so I paid $1.50 for 2 of them. And this is Waverly Truffle. It's just like, it's like a chocolate brown. Any brown will do. And that required 2 coats. And while that's drying, this is a Dollar Tree bouquet foam holder, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to paint the handle black with rich black chalk paint. And this is, it's called Baby's Breath. It's very tiny black flowers I got from Amazon. I'll provide you that link. And I have some orange ones I'm also going to use. And basically a little bit of glue, and you just stick it in the foam. So I'm going around the bottom, the base if you will, with these little black flowers. And we're just creating a little Halloween wedding bouquet. Just go all the way around that bottom section. I have some greenery up there. I don't actually end up using that. Now these little, they're kind of like a glittery, leafy bush from Dollar Tree. And I just use a few of these to have something kind of dangling around the bottom. You know how bouquets will have something fancy like that. And then these are the same as the black, but in orange, also on Amazon. And the next level, or the next section, or whatever you want to call it, I'm putting the orange ones. Give a little color in there. I thought about trying to make it look like dead flowers, but I wasn't sure exactly how to go about that. I've never seen florals made to look like they're dead flowers. You know, I've just used black roses here once we get to the top, but anyway, because everything else is kind of, you'll see. But the bouquet is beautiful. I want something beautiful on here. So I went all the way around with the orange. Now these little black roses with they just have a little bit of a gold color glitter on the petals. It's not overload, it's just a little touch of it, give it a little sparkle. And I put those around the neck section, working my way up. They're really pretty. And I'm putting a little bit of glue on the stems because I kind of did a dry run, kind of made sure I had enough roses to do this. So there's already holes poked in my foam. And this is Dollar Tree. It's not the best, you know, it's not the best quality foam, but you know, I saw it in the store, and of course everybody's going to think, ooh, wedding. Not me. Not me. I think, I think wedding, but I think, you know, macabre wedding, or wedding that didn't go so well. Yeah. And you see we have a skeleton arm, so you know, whatever this is didn't end very well. And these are some smaller black roses I believe I got from Michael's. I went in there when they had some Halloween floral on sale. And I just bought 1, maybe 2 little bushes of those. I'm like, why didn't I get more of them? They're really pretty. And put those around the top, filling in. Very pretty. It's a beautiful bouquet if you have a Halloween wedding, I suppose. And then later I go back and put a couple more of the orange Baby's Breath in between the roses on top. Just a little color throughout the black. So now I'm positioning my arm on my tray, and I use a whole lot of hot glue under there, and I wasn't worried about it showing because I'm going to hide that with some moss. So if you're doing something like this, just go ahead and put the glue on there, you know, as long as you have a plan to cover it up. So now once I get it attached at the bottom, now the glue still hasn't set yet, so I can still move it a little bit, and I'm gonna get a nice blob underneath the side of the hand because I want it tilted up a little bit, because you can see where this is going. The fingers is going, okay. That's where the bouquet is gonna go. I just thought, oh, my dog's barking, of course. There we go. So now I've stuck the bouquet in there, and again, get under the bottom of the little base of the bouquet, and a ton of glue. And we're gonna cover all that up later. You want to make sure it's gonna get in position where you want and stay there. And I was gonna add some E6000, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna squirt a ton of hot glue under there. It'll stay, and I'm gonna hide it. So here I just have some moss. This is a green reindeer moss. You can get that at any craft store. Dollar Tree has it, but it's a very odd neon green. You know, well, this is kind of bright here, but it's an odd color. So I think this came from Michael's. And basically I covered up where the glue was and went all the way around where the hand or the arm is laying on the tray. And now I'm going to put a few little pieces here and there on the arm. So yeah, I wasn't sure. It's like the arm, you know, the skeleton arm obviously has been laying there a while. But the bouquet looks new, but so what? Yeah. This was a fun one. My dog wants my attention. He is, I swear he thinks he's a cat. He's bapping at my table to get me to notice him. Hi, honey. Yes, I know. He's such a brat. He's so sweet. So we're going to get our moss all up and down our arm here. And then I applied a bunch of it. This is like a drier moss that I put on there. That's another Dollar Tree moss. It's a looser, drier moss. It works good for a base. You squirt some glue and kind of sprinkle it and pat it on there and turn it upside down, shake it off, and just keep kind of moving it around. And you can apply this with like some tacky glue if you prefer. And I just need to get a little bit of a base down. And then I'm putting some more of this brighter green moss to fill in the gaps, basically. And I was going to leave this at this point, just put more moss on it, but it was so lopsided with that big bouquet on one side. So we're going to do something else here in a few minutes. Okay, stop whining. It's not dinner time yet. Jeez. Really? He's sitting here whining at me. Oh, brother. So I just squirted some glue there, and it's going to kind of soak down in there in the moss that's already there. And that was like some shake, you know, crumbs, whatever, from the moss. And that'll stick pretty well down in there. Now, this is a little grapevine wreath that I got thrifting. And it was 3 loops put together to look like a pumpkin. But it was nice and skinny, so I took it apart. And I'm going to cut this in half. I got these big snips I stole from my husband. Oh, stop whining. Oh, my goodness. Oh, brother. And this is a little bit of leftover grapevine piece that I put the 2 together, laid them on top of each other, and wrapped a little bit of that around there. And now I've got some brown floral wire. And I'm going to attach everything together. The brown. I had some silver at first, and then there was brown on this wreath here, so I stole it off of it. Stole some of more of the grapevine pieces and stole the brown wire off of it. But you can get brown floral wire in any hobby store, I'm sure. And we're just going to twist it around with our pliers, and then we're going to snip it off and just kind of mash that down into towards the inside, so it's not going to poke anybody. So this is our grapevine arch, and we are going to spray paint that with flat white. Now I've got the end of a popsicle stick and 2 Jenga blocks. I'm going to create little feet for the arch, and I'm just hot gluing these to the popsicle stick to just hold them in place well enough to get started here. We're going to squirt a bunch of E6000 in there too. So here's my feet. Well, stop. You're whining. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. I don't know why he's crying at me. So I'm going to put a nice, generous blob of hot glue in the bottom here. Stop. Oh, my goodness. Now he's talking to me. What? I'm doing a voiceover, baby. Oh, my God. So we get that into position, and then we're gonna, oh my God, take some E6000, and this is a piece of the same popsicle stick, the center that was left after I cut the ends off, and we're just going to put that down in between, make sure it's holding everything together very well. And I also put more hot glue and more E6000 on the other side of the feet, just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Some more antique wax. We want to dirty it up, age it a little bit. This wedding arch has been there a while. So yeah, it's like the arm and the bouquet are to scale with each other, and the arch is not. You know, it's smaller, but it's symbolic, you know. It doesn't have to be. Oh my goodness, really? Oh, listen to him, so neglected. So we're gonna put some E6000 on the bottom of our feet, and then some hot glue on either side of the E6000. Oh my goodness. Oh, baby boy. And press that down, hold it in place. And then we're just going to hide the feet with some more of that nice green moss. Oh, excuse my hair getting in the picture there. So a little more hot glue, a little more moss. I had like just enough of this daggone moss to put on here. So now I've just got a piece of black chiffon ribbon, and I have a couple pieces of white, and I'm going to dirty those up with the antique wax. And I'm just going to drape them over the top. And that final touch, that little engagement ring. Ooh, creepy. So here we are at DIY number 2. One Last Dance. This is a frame from this was a canvas. I removed the canvas from the frame, and I added some glue and staples to the back. You know, they're rickety and wobbly once you take the canvas off, but you can use any frame and just remove all the innards and glass. And this is just regular old tissue paper that I've crumpled up, and we are going to take some Mod Podge and wrap this frame in wrinkled up tissue paper to create a nice texture. And basically we're going to tear it into strips, and you don't even have to do this. You can just paint it black and distress it a little bit, whatever you want to do. I just thought this would be kind of fun to spruce up this plain Jane frame a little bit. And we're just going to add some Mod Podge and just start wrapping it around, and that's pretty much it. And don't try not to, you know, rub it and smooth out the wrinkles. Kind of pat it down on there. Use your fingers. Then once it's wet, use the brush. See, right like here. And just pat it all down and just overlap it and just keep going on around. And that's all I'm doing here. So, this took a little while. You might want to do about half of it. Hang it up from the dry side somewhere for a couple hours, so where you can handle it so you're not accidentally ripping off with, because if your fingers get glue on them or it's wet and you touch it in the wrong spot, it can pull the paper off, which you can patch easily, but still it's best to do it at least in half or in sections and let it dry for a while. So while I got a minute here, I'm still gluing on tissue paper. I want to thank everyone for being here with me today. I hope you're enjoying this video. I have all these skeletons. I have more skeletons and skulls, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. But I do appreciate each and every one of you, all your support and your comments, and just watching and liking and all the things. I really appreciate it. So here's what it's looking like, and I don't need to show you that forever. I'm showing you the corner here. You just tear it in smaller pieces and just make sure you cover all the wood. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just, you don't want it to get like too bulky and bunched up in the corner. So just use smaller pieces. And then we're just going to let this dry overnight. just to be sure, because there's Mod Podge also. I didn't go back with a coat of Mod Podge because I was putting it on top as I went, so it's sealed down plenty to go ahead and paint it. So this is just rich black, folk art rich black chalk paint. I like this method with the tissue paper. It's like I said, it takes a little time, you know, but just sit there, turn on the TV, and just sit there and do it. But again, you can just paint it if you want. You don't have to do all this. And once that's dry, this is Deco Art Vintage. No, I'm sorry. Primitive is the name of the color. I found the vintage on Amazon. I did find that, but I cannot find this primitive anywhere. But it is very, very similar to Waverly, sandstone. I think I mentioned that in the last project. I used that on the skeleton arm as well. It's almost identical to sandstone. I think it's a tiny bit darker. So I've got this little skeleton from Dollar General, and he's posable, and he has screws in all his joints. So I thought I wanted to paint it to make it look a little more realistic anyway, and that kind of, you know, paint the screws too. And then we were attaching one hand and one foot, so his other arm and leg are still posable once we're done. This is a fun one. So once I painted that, I also sealed it with Mod Podge, same as the arm earlier, and it's easier to use the antiquing wax to distress it. So these are little Jenga blocks, and I did the same thing to them, you know, the tissue paper, and then painted them. And I'm gonna just create some I don't know, make some spacers, for lack of a better word, because once you put the skeleton and everything in there, you're gonna need room behind it so it'll lay flat against the wall. It'll make sense in a minute. You know, because he's not, you know, he's kind of hanging out in the center of the frame, so you need that lift. So here's how I'm going to attach him. I'm just trying to figure out where exactly to place his hand and foot. And I've got some silver floral wire, and all I did was run that between a couple fingers and then around the back. Glue wasn't going to hold him in place on here. There's no way. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? I thought I'm going to have to wire it. And you can also add glue as well, but if you wire it nice and tight, it's going to be fine. So once it's in place, and I twist it a couple times with my fingers, just take the pliers and make sure it's nice and tight. But don't over tighten it, it'll break. The wire can break if you over tighten it. And I'm doing the same on the bottom. I'm pulling it between a couple of toes. So this is a, you know, it's one skeleton. I call it One Last Dance because he looks like he's having a party. Just hanging out and enjoying life. Well, so to speak. He's having fun. Twist it in the back, get it nice and tight. And then you can go back and touch that wire up with some black paint. I'm going to add some black reindeer moss and make sure I cover that up. And also, you're going to want to glue down some felt or something on the back over top of that wire so it's not poking you later. Or while you're working with it, you're going to want to do that right away because it could poke you. But bend it down. But yeah, you might want to cover it up with something. Give it a little padding. Now I'm just using this skinny twine here to tie. I've wrapped this creepy cloth just down to one side, and I'm using some twine to gather it up, trim off the excess, and I just kind of rolled it up as, you know, as tight as I could get it, and add some hot glue. And again, you want to add some more string, you can, and then hide it again with moss. I've got this this came from, what is it called, TMI Gifts or whatever. I got a pretty good deal on some Halloween picks. So I want to use this black glittery branch here. And we hot glued the base of it to the frame, and now I'm going to use another piece of that same wire up in the middle of it to secure it. And you can do however you want with this. You can have them sitting down, you can add a little swing, you can do all kinds of good stuff, and then decorate it however you want. I like the creepy cloth, and I have a ton of it, so I'm trying to use it. So This was like a little thorny floral. It came with some black roses or something from Dollar Tree. And these red flowers, I believe, came from Dollar General. And the black flowers you see laying there came from Dollar Tree. I'm trying to keep it straight. I just cut them off at the base, and I'm going to glue a red one for a little color, and then 2 of these black ones on either side. Then I also glue just a single black one on the other bottom corner as well. And here I'm just taking some hot glue and some black reindeer moss I got from Amazon. I'll supply the link. And you see I have a hanger there. I didn't keep the footage of that hanger because it did not work. That is the hanger I ended up using. I added these little fuzzy spiders from Dollar General, so cute. And that bat was a clip from Dollar Tree. Then I just cut off the clip and hot glued it. And I didn't show adding this hanger because it was just too hard to keep it in the frame. I used my hot glue E6000 combo and felt. And you can still pose this guy, his leg and his one arm, and he looks like he's jumping out of the frame at you. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed my skeleton video. And here he is. One last dance, having his own little party. He is cool. And left at the altar. I love the creepiness of this. The little engagement ring. Oh, it just it gives me chills. Don't forget to like and share and all the things. Come back and see me again. Bye.